From the 35th District, Representative Griffey.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise in support of this amendment. We already have rationed care in Washington State. My 87-year-old father, twice now in his 80s, have had to wait over a year to get an appointment to see a specialist. Mr. Speaker, if we raise the Medicare rates, we're going to increase the predictability and stability of doctors that are looking to move into the state of Washington. Highly qualified doctors. We're talking the best of the best. Brain surgeons. We're talking burn specialists. Those docs cost a lot of money. They spend over 10 years in school, so they should expect to make a lot of money. Mr. Speaker, if we stabilize the Medicaid system, we're going to stabilize the system for the medical care system in the state of Washington as a whole. There will be more providers, not less providers. Mr. Speaker, my father, is 87 years old. In his 80s, he's already had to wait over a year to receive specialized services. How many one-year delays is he going to be able to endure again in his life? I don't think many more, Mr. Speaker. To stabilize the medical system that we have in Washington State, we must adopt this amendment. We must prove to those new providers that are thinking about moving into this state, Mr. Speaker, that it may someday be profitable. Also, Mr. Speaker, it'll give hope to those that are just hanging on by their fingernails that maybe someday Washington State will reimburse them enough to pay their employees and to pay themselves a salary. Mr. Speaker, I urge you to vote yes on this amendment.
The floor remarks the member from the 35th, Representative Griffey.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Trying to button the button, it won't work. So, Mr. Speaker, half of the money that we were talking about is going to be $2 billion. That's pretty easy math. $2 billion would go a long way to support and make our K-12 school system, public school system, closer to whole. I agree with the members on the House floor that it might not be enough, but $2 billion would get us a long ways, Mr. Speaker. And that's what this amendment would do. It would make sure that our paramount duty is envisioned in even this tax law right here. The intent, we've heard all night, was to go to schools, to go to lower income individuals. Mr. Speaker, now is the best time to immortalize it. Mr. Speaker, if we are going to uphold our paramount duty, then let's put it into this bill right now. Because, we've also heard on this floor many times tonight that that'll all be worked out by this working group. That'll all be worked out by this working group. Mr. Speaker, I don't want to wait for it to be worked out in the working group. I want to fulfill the promise right now. Mr. Speaker, join me in voting yes for this amendment so we can enshrine that in this new tax law, that 50% of it is going to go to enhance K-12 education. Mr. Speaker, I think it is our paramount duty, and I think it is your duty and my duty to vote yes on this amendment. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Speaker. This amendment would exempt pension income and benefits from being considered income under this new income tax. Madam Speaker, this idea came out just after we passed the bill that rated the Left One pension. I went to a retirement party. And there's about 100 firefighters in the room and about 25 retired firefighters. The retired firefighters and the current line firefighters came up to me and asked me they had a lot of questions about the pension. It was overwhelming. But then they asked about the income tax, Madam Speaker, and they said, do you think they'll ever go after our pension benefits? Madam Speaker, I told them I didn't think so. I said the current rumors, I hadn't seen the bill yet, but the current rumors are it would be on income earners. It would be a general income tax, and then it would be there would be a general exemption of $1 million. Madam Speaker, to a person in that room, they said, I don't trust them. Madam Speaker, there are two ways that firefighters' pensions, when we contribute to them, all public employee pensions, the money goes in post-tax. So it's taxed when you contribute. When you withdraw it, it is also taxed, Madam Speaker, so you pay federal income tax twice. If this is to pass, if this amendment's not to pass, there is possibility of public pensioners having their income taxed a third time, Madam Speaker, I know that it seems kind of far out there. We've heard on this floor that there's no way that a pensioner their income could get that high. But Madam Speaker, we didn't have a personal exemption. We had a household exemption. Madam Speaker, if a retired firefighter or retired public employee was to marry a wealthier individual and they file combined income, then that income would add or could add up to over the $1 million threshold. Madam Speaker, I don't want that to happen. The firefighters and the other public employees that were in the room didn't trust that this legislature won't lower that personal exemptions to some lower amount which would encompass their pension. So, Madam Speaker, because they don't trust that we won't do that, and I never thought we would raid the Left One public pension, I think that we should adopt this and make sure that our public pensioners are not taxed a third time on their income. I urge this adoption.